Okay, I think we're good.
I'll just put this down because
Wish us luck. We're going on the bus. Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back to the Nashtea, your favorite Music City podcast. I am Allie, here with Ty as always.
What's up everybody?
Today we did something rather adventurous of us.
Yes.
And again, it feels like feels a little privileged to be able to say that because I know people have to do it every day, but I've never had to take the bus, and we took the bus.
We did.
And I'm glad because I got out of my box and it was a cool experience, and we're going to have a lot more bus travel coming at Nashville, Tennessee, since we kind of got skirted from the subway system ideas.
Yeah.
We would have had to lay that groundwork like 10 years ago, but
When it was proposed the first time, but yeah.
Yeah. So I just you think about how I'm super grateful that I have a car.
Sure.
And I can go wherever I need to. But bus transportation is important to a city's infrastructure. And today we wanted to try it out for ourselves since there have been some changes recently, just sort of to get reacquainted with it. So it was a rather fun trip.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I watch these buses every day as we're going into work, and they, they're in our lives. Like we see these purple WeGo buses everywhere.
WeGo.
And so we decided, we went. We went and we conquered too. And
it was great.
It was a really, really cool experience. Like you said, we're fortunate to have our own vehicles. You know, I can understand in like our household, for example, we have 2 cars, 3 adults. So that leaves one person short.
Right.
So luckily we do most of the things together. And so we rarely need all 3 vehicles. But when you do,
it's helpful to know you have options.
It was it was an option that was always there, only we never entertained it before because I'm just like, it's the bus. And I think a lot of people think that way, like, it's the bus. So, not to be rude, but there have been, over the last few weeks, since Mayor Freddie O'Connell proposed his new $3.1 billion, wow.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Plan for sidewalk, miles and miles of sidewalks to be added, 86 new buses, as you were talking, a couple new hubs. Rail is not coming here, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know,
I wish we were more European, like just in general around this country. Like, could you imagine being able to just like hop on a high-speed train and be in Chicago in like no time? That'd be crazy.
Be amazing. Yeah, just to have the option to be like, all right, we're going to go to Atlanta and we can be there in an hour.
Hell yeah, let's go.
You know what I mean? Saying all of that, though, I've never ridden the bus on a daily basis. However, I have friends that do. Not many, but I have a few friends that, like, especially in Richmond, and we all work together. And so I would always drive into the job site. The majority of them took the bus in, and I never thought about it. Like, not once did I guess when they got there, I did, in the back of my mind, I was like, it sucks. You got to ride the bus every morning. You got to get there an hour earlier than I leave. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got to like rework your schedule because you're on literally someone else's schedule.
Exactly. Yeah. So this was great for us to get out. I really wanted to do it myself. And since this is going to be how we get around our town in the future, we wanted to experience it for ourselves. And Mayor Freddie is encouraging all Nashvillians to take the bus. That's great. After he said that, 3 weeks in a row, there were stabbings on the bus. So
we weren't quite sure what to expect is basically kind of where we're going with it.
So first I want to be like, Mayor Freddie, you take the bus every day. And I like you, man. Like I really do. I think you're a visionary. I think you want to help the city out, but you promised light rail. You're not bringing light rail. So now I say you liar. But no, great experience overall. I'm so glad we did it. And I'm glad we went together because I think I would have been confused otherwise.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things where it made it go by faster. I think our route was supposed to be like between 47 and 52 minutes.
Right.
It felt like it took no time at all. Like I took a screenshot of the time when we first got there, and I was so excited by the time we got to Broadway that I totally
we got
just
there
hopped
so
off
much
the
faster
bus.
than we thought.
Yeah.
And so we didn't even look at the time, but
Yeah.
it had to have been less than 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going with 45.
There's a lot of different areas in town that you can get the bus. Of course, there's tons of different bus stops.
And we'll show you right here the map, so you can be looking while we're talking.
Insert it for you guys. We elected to hop on at the Kroger and West Nashville Bellvue area.
Correct. The Kroger at Old Hickory and Highway 70 South.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And we took the Highway 70 South all the way up to downtown, which was cool. Or like that route. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because
Okay,
we went straight down 70 South till it turns into West End. So you go right by Belmead. You go by St. Thomas Midtown. You go by... you cross White Bridge. And... Yeah, we did. We went straight down West End, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like the whole way down.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually pretty cool now that I think about it.
It was just
we didn't make
straight
another
shot.
turn. We just did a straight shot downtown.
Yeah. And there was one point where we kind of came down over the hill in the Bellevue area into Belmead, and like you could see the skyline in the distance. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, you know?
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed the experience. Like I said, the trip was shorter than it needed to be. I'm sure in traffic and like that flexes, and you're never quite sure like exactly how long it's going to take.
Right.
Plus, I can't even imagine how terrible it would be to like just miss the bus and then have to wait for another one.
Right. Like another 30 minutes, you're just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, that would be super frustrating. But other than that, like we went during the day. I felt super safe. The bus stop was clean. There was a bench and a cover, so it was a nice day, but it was still sunny, so it was nice to have some sort of protection from the sun. We just kind of hung out there for maybe 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And then the bus rolled on by, and when it pulled up to us, I didn't realize this until we were actually on the bus, but the whole thing kind of just like and it like
the bus is on hydraulics, so
it's so cool.
When it pulls up to the stop, it'll lower itself to be at the level of the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So you're just walking straight onto the bus.
I wonder if that just makes for a smoother ride, or if it's like a accessibility thing.
Oh, I'm sure it's a little bit
bit of everything. Yeah, for sure.
But when we saw the lady get on with the wheelchair, I was like, then you could see what the purpose was.
Yeah.
Like, the hydraulics lowered and the stairs turned into a ramp, and I was just like, wow,
this
is crazy.
It was definitely it was good to see, because I feel like we kind of covered all the bases there as far as like a day trip. The bus was clean.
Yep.
And the windows were down, so the airflow was nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it just overall was a good experience. The driver was helpful because we elected to pay with cash, and of course now it's important to note that they're not able to give change anymore. So,
She kept my $1.
She kept your $1.
It's okay. But while we're on that topic, the reason that Allie and I really wanted to try this was not only is Mayor Freddie, our mayor, encouraging Nashvillians to take public transportation. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to see what it was all about. But also, the main thing for most Nashvillians is, for us not going downtown, is the parking.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So like, you're a local, you're paying the taxes. We're getting hit at a 10%, almost 10% sales tax, and 3%, 6%, and 9 point something percent. That's
9.75.
9.75. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And if you ask someone from Nashville, oh, I'm going downtown, where should I park? Everybody has an answer, because like there are specific places that you go
100%,
and you get like a better deal, or like the walkability is better, or you pay like, so everyone has an opinion, but this kind of just like waves all of that away, and you can just hop on a bus. And
so Allie and I both live about 10 minutes outside of downtown, without traffic, but 10 minutes outside.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah.
Within 3 minutes, you can see the skyline. Let's put it that way. And for us to Uber it downtown, it's approximately between $15 and $20 each way.
So crazy.
So you're looking at $30 to $40 in Uber fees for a night out. So let's say 40, because typically it'll be 20 down, 20 back.
Yeah.
Then you go down there to park with your own vehicle, and let's just say nothing's going on. Let's pretend like there's no concerts, which never happens here.
Yep.
Let's pretend that it's just a dead night. You're going to pay $30 for parking.
Yeah.
Easy. Probably 40.
Unless you're okay to walk, in which case there are spots.
You can pay cash, like $10 and walk a ways.
Yeah.
But if you want to just go downtown, be there.
Underneath the building, pop right up.
Right.
Yeah.
You're looking at $40.
Yeah.
So that's $40 for Uber, there and back. That's $40 for parking when you go downtown. And how much did the bus cost?
$2.
$2.
$2.
So
you can pay cash, or you could pay with your change.
Right. So drive yourself and pay 40. Take an Uber, pay 40. Or take the bus and pay 4.
I think that's the way we're going to go.
Down and back.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing we
did go in the middle of the day, like you said.
Yeah.
So we did go when it was probably less crowded. I know those morning buses are standing room only, so that's a different experience, I'm sure. Now, I rode the subway, I used to ride the subway into Manhattan when I'd go visit my sister. And I rode it with my brother-in-law a few times. He works in Manhattan. And I don't ever want to do that again. I don't ever want to be on a subway train in the morning going in during rush hour to New York City.
No, it's tight.
Like when people are like, gosh, how does it spread so fast? That's how it spreads so fast. Yeah. That's how a virus spreads that fast, because you're like knees to nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's like half sitting on somebody else's lap, and then you got a crotch in your face here, and you got ass cheeks right here.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
you're lucky to find a wall that you can like lean up against. And
then there's always that person in there is like,
oh my god!
And like everybody on the train can just see the particles, and you're like, we're all infected. We're all dying.
Those flickering fluorescent lights.
So anyway,
germs.
So I'm sure the bus is that way, probably at peak hours.
Maybe
more similar. Like you can go on the app and it'll tell you whether it's standing room only, if there's seats, how busy it is.
That's a good point too. Like the whole app thing. That's a really nice feature that they have that.
Yeah. You can check each spot, and if the bus is delayed by 2 minutes, it'll change it for you on the app.
Yeah.
So you do know, at least you're not sitting there, like we said earlier, waiting for 30 minutes wondering
what's going on.
Yeah, it tells you
and you can pay through the app as well.
And you can pay through the app. So I think that would be the way to go next time. Since we actually enjoyed it, I would I'd get the app and load up $50, maybe $20 on the card, and it gives us what?
2 years of life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a great deal, truly. And the ride was nice. And I mean, listen, I'm sure it's different if there's traffic and it's hot and everything, but we just got lucky, but I was not expecting to have the experience that we did.
It was sunny and 80 degrees today, for those who are wondering. Going back to the cleanliness of the bus trip, they get a bad rap. And I'm sure there are some questionable places, right? Let's just talk about Nashville's buses, because we shouldn't be comparing to anybody else.
Yeah.
I was a little worried it was going to be a city bus. Like it was going to have bubble gum everywhere and garbage all over the floor. And, look like it hadn't been hosed down in a while. We got on there, and surprisingly, it was extremely clean. Like way cleaner than Spirit Airlines. Way cleaner. But there was no trash.
Yeah.
It didn't smell funky, but I was a little concerned because I've been on New York City buses, I've been on Richmond buses, and they're a little questionable sometimes.
Well, it's just like you're transporting all these different types of people and
coming from different jobs. Some
right, exactly.
Yeah,
I get it.
So as far as that's concerned, it was immaculate.
Yeah, I mean,
in my opinion, like
it's so much so that they had like fabric seats. I was not expecting that. I was expecting like full on plastic.
Absolutely, so you could hose it down.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they were plastic with a fabric cover, but I mean it was still like, yeah. And it wasn't a double decker, but it had a layer up. Like you had to
Right.
step up to get. So of course, me being 5, I was like, let's sit in the back.
Yeah, it was more like a ride.
Sit up high. Yeah, I mean, I again
The
was
bus
surprised.
is kind of like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the front of the roller coaster, most people think that's the best place to be, right?
Right.
That's
right.
where I always wanted to be because you get to see everything first and
Yep.
feel the wind and everything.
Yep.
But then my aunt and uncle told me the secret. And they were like, it's actually the last car.
Because
And I
you
said,
get
why?
all the free, yeah.
You get the G forces, the whips, the like.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
last one to get pulled, but when you go around that corner, you're being.
Exactly.
That's kind of what the second row of the bus was like.
Whoa. Yeah.
But what did you think when we got to Metro Center? When we got to the hub where the buses are in downtown Nashville?
Well, you kept saying where we were going, and me, like, I couldn't picture it, and I hadn't been there before. So then when we pulled in, I was like, oh, duh, this makes sense. It's literally a hub.
Yeah. Like I'd never been in. I've driven past it.
Yeah.
And so we see like, oh, that's where the buses go. Never thought I'd like actually end up in there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was when we first pulled in, I was like, oh, this is great. Like there's Metro police here, like it's a safe place. And then we walked into the Dunkin Donuts that was at the hub, and it was locked, and so we just kind of walked away. And then this lady comes running over, Kimberly.
Allie was so excited.
She comes running over and she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, we can let you in if you want to buy something, but then we have to lock the door behind you because there just keeps being altercations here.
Yeah.
And we're like,
She's
oh
like,
my
you know,
gosh, I'm
the
sorry.
kids the other night on the news, they were fighting down here. I said yes. I didn't know what she was talking about, but I just said yes. And she said, same ones.
Same
ones
ones.
back in here again. I had to teach them a lesson. And I was
Oh.
like, Kimberly, you sure did.
Yeah, I mean,
Was it Kimberly?
Kimberly
So Kimberly and Melissa,
and Missy.
Missy, Kimberly and Missy at the Dunkin Donuts at Metro Center.
Mm-hmm.
They're the coolest.
Yeah,
they are
and
the best.
I can only
I will go back
imagine-
just for those two because they're hilarious.
Oh, for sure. And like just to think about what they see on a daily basis, they definitely deserve a raise because they had a smile on their face. They're more than happy to help us. And
Duncan, you got to get Kimberly and Missy a raise. I'm telling you, it is so worth it because they sold us on Duncan.
yeah,
we weren't even going to get.
We
Dunkin'.
weren't even. Yeah, I was just like, oh,
they were
just
so
gonna go in.
friendly, so like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it was great. And
Locked doors and all. I was like, all right, we're doing it.
yeah, you know, I wish. I don't know how big corporations like that do it. How do you find that one employee that's actually really good and treat them maybe a little bit better than
I
others
mean, I
to
think a
give
lot
them
of it
incentive
is
to
through reviews and surveys.
Okay.
And if you
So we need to
leave
do the review.
names, yeah, for sure, we should do that. And that's why they incentivize you with, you know, like things that you can get for free or whatever.
Right.
Because they want feedback that's not just bad feedback. Because, you know, it's like Yelp. Like if you
Yeah.
go somewhere and you have a great meal, maybe if you Yelp or do reviews often, you might be inclined to, you know, leave them a good review. But most of the time it's bad.
Yeah.
They're like,
That's true. If you're going to take the time to write something, it's usually because you're mad about it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So
In this case, it was the opposite.
yeah, for sure. No, we'll definitely
Allie and
give
I
them a
made
shout
some new
out.
friends today, and it was awesome.
And again, like I can't even imagine the things that they see. So
Yeah.
thank you. Shout out to you girls for doing such a great job.
Kimberly and Missy, you're the best. And we're Allie is a person of her word. She told you she would give you a shout out on the podcast, and here she is
Listen,
2 hours later giving you a shout out on the podcast.
they were like, you should tell corporate. And I was like, I'm gonna.
You're like, oh, I'm going to
You're
tell
gonna
a
hear
lot
from
more
me.
than corporate. This baby's going on the internet.
Oh man. No, but it was good because then we got to get our drinks. We, you know, just needed a nice little refresher to walk through downtown, and
Yep.
we went all the way down through Printer's Alley and then headed out. Why can't I talk today? We went through Printer's Alley,
Yep.
and then we went down past Assembly Food Hall and the
Correct.
Ryman and Bridgestone.
We actually got to walk past the old arcade, not like video arcade, but the old arcade, which is a 2-story shops and all this stuff. They had it open today, which was cool. I wanted to walk through there, but a part of me didn't because
Oh, nostalgic purposes.
Yeah.
You're like, what did they do to it?
yeah. Well, just because okay, so they had like a peanut store in there. I know. I'm like,
No, the peanut store's still there.
Oh, is it still there?
Well, as of last year,
It was
for
there. Like,
Nashville.
okay,
scene.
cool. All right, so I really like that place.
Okay.
There was an ice cream shop. That place gone. Pizza place gone. And then what was the other one that was like one of my favorites in the? I don't know, but they can't seem to keep anything in there, and it's like
That's hard. It is in like kind of a weird spot. Is that where the guy with the megaphone was?
Where was the guy with the megaphone? No. That was when we got down to.
Oh, the arcade was up higher.
Yeah.
Like
arcade,
in Printer's Alley.
Yeah. Remember when we were walking? It was like across from Woolworths.
Yeah.
There was like this long tunnel. That's what I mean. And there used to be all these restaurants and stuff in there.
Oh man, I would have made you go in the peanut place.
So that
had I known.
If I thought about it, I should have. But anyway, like a lot of mom and pop shops in there, but they were used to serve the people that worked in the metro area right there. You know, everybody in those 9 to 5, 8 to 5 jobs with their suits on and everything. You know, like that's where they would go for lunch. And then it became the art crawl. So once a month they would do the art crawl, and the second floor artists would rent out
that's
the
really
rooms.
cool.
And then you could just there's an art gallery right next to Woolworths before you go into the arcade. And when my parents first came here, now I'd never been to an art crawl. Like it's not my thing.
Yeah.
But my mom and dad were thinking about moving down here. And so my mom had read somewhere there's this art crawl. You want to go do it? And I was like, sure. And she said, free.
They're cool.
Yeah. She was like, they give you free wine. And I was like, I'm in. And so you start out at the art gallery. They give you some wine. You're just walking around looking at all these like beautiful paintings and sculptures and stuff. And then you can walk into the arcade, and it's just hundreds of people going into all these little galleries.
I love that.
It's awesome. Like it really is cool. It's something that we should go do that one night. Like I haven't done that literally in 20 years, but it would be awesome.
I'm just trying to think, because I'm like literally playing a gig. That's an art crawl. I have a date in July and a date in August.
Downtown?
I wonder if it's the same one. Yeah. Is that the same one?
Oh, please.
Let me see. Wait, let me see. Guys, I'm the worst.
You playing makes me so happy.
Yay.
It gets me like motivated.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yep. July 6th and August 3rd.
July 6th and August 3rd.
I don't have a time yet, but
I'll definitely be there
posted.
July 6th. August, that is just...
Yeah, who knows?
I try to stay inside during August.
I think I will be inside.
Oh, then okay.
Hopefully. I'll let you know after the July one.
July 6th at the Chauvet.
Yes. Yeah.
Guys, meet me
Art gallery.
there.
Meet me.
What time? Did they say yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, we'll put a time up, and I want you to meet me there 10 minutes before it starts.
Oh.
I'll meet you right outside the doors, and we'll all go in together.
Oh my God.
Wear Allie Jordan merch.
Oh no.
Make sure you go buy either Nashtee merch or you buy
Nashtee
Allie Jordan merch. And we're gonna show out.
I'm just gonna be doing some yacht rock chill stuff. It'll be like
Dude,
a
the
nice
Music
summer
Mafia
day.
has nothing on the group that we're gonna bring to the Chauvet on the July 6th.
Oh
I'm
God.
serious. Like now this is gonna be my thing where I'm gonna
He's gonna be like,
call
let's go.
everybody I know. I'm like, let's just fuck this whole
Pack
night
the
up
house.
and pack an art gallery. All for
You
you.
want to go drink some wine and look at some art? Let's go.
No, I'm actually really excited. I'm so proud of you. That's awesome.
Oh, it's just going to be
freaking
a fun,
awesome.
it's a good way to support the arts, and I'm looking forward to it. So
Awesome.
it'll be good. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
July 6th, Chauvet, be there. Or you're not my friend anymore.
are you just going to get you fired? Just really and truly like taking the bus, I didn't realize how much stuff you would see. Which, sounds dumb, but like when you're driving, you don't really think about it. You kind of look around, but like you're focusing on not killing anybody or yourself.
That's a great point.
On the bus,
especially in this town.
Yeah, you can just daydream and you can just look around and find new bagel shops. And
I mean, Allie was so nice to bring Star Bagel today, which was amazing. And
yummy.
You'll see that in another video, or maybe it's part of this one. I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows?
But while we were, to go to your point, while we were on the bus and we were hitting the Midtown area, she's right. Like, I drive these roads not every day, but almost every day. And
A lot.
And you really are so focused on other drivers as you should be. but you're so focused on, the road, other drivers, your phone. No, I'm just kidding. And
don't text and drive.
Yeah, that you don't see. You miss a lot of stuff. And so when you're on the bus and you're just kind of relax. One, you're relaxed because you're being chauffeured around.
It's great.
Yeah. But as we're passing Midtown, or right before we got to Midtown, I looked to my right, and there's a really packed bagel shop, and I'm like,
yes,
what the hell? We were just talking about it this morning, and like, I never would have seen it had I not been on the bus and had a chance to be looking around.
Yeah.
It was nice, and it was also nice to kind of feel like you're part of the city too.
Definitely, I agree.
Because there were a lot of people on there that were going to their job, or coming home from their job.
It just the whole experience made me feel very grateful for like where we are in life.
Yeah.
The opportunities that we have and the resources that we have, and kind of like just really made me take a moment and be like, wow, things can be different. And I'm thankful for our infrastructure and hopefully the improvements that will be done so more people can utilize this service, because it's a great one and we're lucky to have it. So I think it was a good experience for sure.
Yeah.
And to recommend it to visitors, because,
I wasn't sure whether I should or not.
And where do people stay when they come to town? They stay downtown, of course, but they'll stay in the Gulch. They'll stay in Hillsborough. Right. They'll stay 12 South. We're in this era of like trying new things. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. We definitely recommend the bus system and had a great experience with WeGo and the Metro Center and everything. So thank you to all the folks that work there and drive the buses and do all that you do to keep our city running. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Have a much greater respect after that trip.
Yeah, definitely. And they are hiring. So if you're looking for work and that seems like something that you would want to do, you can visit the link down below and see what they're all about. They seem to have some great benefits. I don't know what their starting rate is, but there's a lot of perks to working there. So if you are interested in looking, then you might want to check it out.
There were so many moving parts that I didn't think about. And now it's like this whole thing. This whole transit system is like completely different in my mind. I was getting pretty angry that we weren't getting light rail. And saying that they could improve on the bus system. I was like, what bus system?
Right. Yeah.
Because back in the day before it turned into WeGo, it was like the MT or something, like Metro whatever, Transit. And it wasn't like, you didn't want to ride the bus.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think that was kind of what encouraged us to get out there. Was really, it was Mayor Freddie, for me at least, because he's pushing it so hard that I was like, it's either going to be a crock, and he's selling us a load of, and I wanted to tell you guys, like, if we got on there, and I was like,
was ready.
Yo, it was a horrible experience, because over the last few weeks, there have been some stabbings, there have been some incidents on the buses, and it's like, and Mayor Freddie's still like, I encourage every Nashvilleian, and I'm like, you first, buddy. You first.
Right.
You do it for this whole summer, and then if you make it, I'll go.
We were prepared to be not enjoying the whole process.
But it was so not that, and so I'm glad that we did it for ourselves, because it just, like politics and like everything else, it goes to show you that like what people say, you got to go figure it out for yourself.
You got to just try it and see.
Yeah.
Because otherwise
decide for yourself, because I wouldn't have gone if we'd listened. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I appreciate Allie for taking the journey with me. She was amazing.
We had fun.
And she hooked me up at Dunkin Donuts, so not a bad day at all.
Make sure you use the app so you can get extra savings and potential free food and coffee.
Yeah.
This turned into a Dunkin' ad.
It really did.
Give Kimberly Missy a raise and also use the app.
Exactly. Yep. Thank you guys.
We appreciate you guys for hanging around. Hopefully you've enjoyed this informative episode of the Nashtea. If you ride the bus, let us know how your bus experience is in any city, not just Nashville. You can be from anywhere. You can contact us at nashteapodcast@gmail.com. And we also have a contact form on our website, thenashtea.com, if you want to say hello or subscribe. So, we appreciate you guys. Do it. We will see you next week for another exciting episode of the Nashtea.
Peace, guys.
Bye.